Man, somebody hit my music.
Fuck you, PrizePicks! Hate you. Fuck you, PrizePicks!
Well, I'm had enough.
Fuck you, PrizePicks! Got a skin, man, I hate enough! Fuck you, PrizePicks! My whole clique about to fuck you up! Fuck you, PrizePicks! Clap your hands, tell me you're not the same! Fuck you, PrizePicks! Begin to win and take everything! Logging in, make my picks, I'm about to get this red. It makes me harder than Candace Parker giving me head. Rage said if I don't win, then I'ma come pick you up. Cartwheel into the bridge, if we a fam, then we all jump. Betty under hope, she rolls her knees or ends up dead. Whatever it takes, I'm trying to make this money with my friends. WNBA season, so much free you won't believe. Join in Discord, you can pay a top support and more. At least I'm kidding, we really winning the ghost of the industry. Johnny and Clyde, they don't want the smoke, we taking all their money. Ain't no selling now. Population, we are not the same, we do this every day now. Everybody say, fuck you, PrizePicks. Hate you. Fuck you, PrizePicks. Hate you. Fuck you, PrizePicks. Hate you. Fuck you, PrizePicks.
Well, I'm had enough.
Fuck you, PrizePicks. You can keep your rotten taco. Fuck you, PrizePicks. Bob and Johnny, that's tomato. Fuck you, PrizePicks. And if you really want to win, fuck you, PrizePicks. Come and rock with population.
Fuck you, you piece of shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, you piece of shit.
And here we go.
Welcome to the BALKIng, guys. It's Tuesday, which means the two hottest thing in the MLB prop market are going to pack. 4 hours of information as well as some tickets, if the baseball gods allow us some winning tickets, as it's Tuesday. We've got us some ribeyes with Mike. So enough small talk, and let's get to the monies. I like to see people making some money on the early game, smoking a little bit of Pivota. I see you, my guy. This show is sponsored by W, a clean energy powder with no come down to your day. By scanning the QR code, that's not here no more. So go on over to W.com, guys, and use that promo code PUBSPORTS. You're going to get 10% off your first order by using the best promo code on God's green earth. Do me a favor, if you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. Also, hashtag WeBePubbin in any of your best bets or any questions about the pitchers not going today, and I will give you my opinion and read them off at the end of the show. On this show, we will talk the first line opening up on a K-prop, also the best line available 30 minutes prior to this show. Then we will see where the value lies between the books and PrizePicks. Of course, this show is also sponsored by PrizePicks. So if you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSPORTS. You're going to get a match deposit on your first deposit up to 100, minimum of 25. First guy on the board, the newest member to the Black Book, John Means, versus the Cardinals, back from Tommy John. In his career, he's striking people out 21% of the time, walking people just 5%. Opened him up at 4.5 to the over, minus 106 on FanDuel. In the morning, he was at a 3.5, minus 125 on BetMGM, to where now the best line to that 3.5 to the over is on MGM still, but at a minus 150. PrizePicks has a 4, whereas hits, earned runs, and outs are not available on PrizePicks. The projected lineup is 7 righties and 2 lefties, which is no longer projected as that lineup came out. It is that 7 righties, 2 lefties. We're going to start the day with the return of the Dirty Bird, John Means, which couldn't have came for these Orioles at a better time, as they are heading into their playoff push, as John Means is their best pitcher and has been. And now after Tommy John surgery and 6 rehab games later, he's ready to rock and figures to be on an innings limit, yet 2 rehab starts ago he did throw 86 pitches, were just 67 in his last outing. So I gotta figure he's good for 75 and up to 90 today. And we get a K-prop that opened at a 4.5 and is a 3.5 everywhere. But where the place it did open up, they were not coming off that 3.5. They were max juicing it where everybody else wasn't. And now the juice is definitely on all the books to that over 3.5. So let's go look up these Cardinals and look at their numbers over the last 200 plate appearances. And I'm going to tell you they're a tad bit skewed. As it says, they're not hitting. They're striking out 23% of the time. And when I ran the Cards lineup versus lefties the last 7 days versus, the lefties I bet on, au contraire, my friend. They're not striking out and they're whopping the shit out of the ball. So I did want to back me some means today, yet the props dropped the whole strikeout. I also say go to the weather first before you start screaming trap. And that's what it is showing me, guys. An hour into the game, they do have chances at a 50% showers that do go on throughout the night. So if the wrong cloud busts, they can call the game and resume sometime down the line. And we all know we can kiss our money goodbye if we're on and over. As 2 of my 7 losses this month have been due to either rain or lightning. So I get the move to the under, guys. As we always talk, the books have more ways to a under than if you are betting an over. So many things can happen, guys, that can contribute to an under. Why would you bet a guy where rain could come in, as that's just another factor that the books have in this spot. Now, lineups pending, guys, I would look to back his first 5 versus the Wayno retirement tour. But the books are keen to that, guys, with the first 5 minus a half being minus 140, as well as juicing me out of his under 2.5 cards team total at minus 150, the first 5. That was minus 155. And they may have priced me out the ways that I wanted to get in, guys, but Sharpie's not going to give up. How else can we get a minus 200 favorite with a team total of like 5.5 down the bettable price? How about John means to record the win? And my sorry ass book doesn't have him available for that either, as they don't know how long he's going, even though I do have him for 75 to 90 at most. Yet, I guess, guys, they want to be pricks, and they made me do even more work. And then the lineups came out. And I was scared, guys, to bet anything before the lineups because, like I said, their overall numbers say they're not hitting. But I said, nah, the lineups I've ran versus the last few lefties I've bet in either Abbott or Max Fried or anybody that's faced this team recently, it's a whole nother lineup. And I was afraid of Means getting the old wop bap a loo bop a wop bam boom treatment tonight, guys. And it's definitely there. So I go look at the over for first 5, and it's a 6, guys. I'm not betting no first 5 over 6 in no game. I'm cool. That's not for me. That's an easy pass, as there may be rain. And what happens if one of these pitchers, both of these pitchers, get pulled after the 3rd inning and they go to the bullpen and now you're over? Not for me paying that type of fucking price on 6 runs. But I wouldn't be surprised if they have 6 in the 1st inning. Now, let me tell you, I ran the lineups, guys, and this lineup is exactly what I thought it was. We only have 3 guys in it that are striking out over the last month versus lefties. 2 are in the 8 and 9 hole, as well as 6 guys in this lineup smashing lefties. It's enough, guys, to let me go look at the first 5 over. And like I said, not at 6. So let's go look at this a little deeper. How was Means versus teams who don't strike out back in 2021 when he did have a great season? Not so hot, as he faced 4 teams in the top 7 and not striking out in 2021, and he never had more than 5, and he needed to go 7 innings those 2 games that he did get 5, as well as getting just 2 in the other 2 games, with one of them getting the shit kicked out of him, so we can't put too much into that. Where the other one, he went 6.2 innings and still only had 2 strikeouts. Okay. Well, I know the guy's only going 75 to 90 pitches. At most, that doesn't project him to see the bottom third of the lineup 3 times. Okay. And we've got rain involved, maybe? Okay, that's another way to the under. This team's not striking out. We've got 6 guys crushing it. You know what? I may have been late to the party. I may have missed that minus 154 on the under 4.5, as I think that was the bet to smash and put the full unit and pay up for the juice. I am going to go a half unit, guys, on the under 3.5 at plus 127, as I think he's going to need to go a full 6 innings to have a shot at 4, and that may be tough, even going 6 innings to still have 4. So at the end of the day, I think he needs to go beyond 6, and I don't think they let him go like that today. Not on a count, not first game back off of Tommy John. Not even if he's humming, as they should get to Wainwright, as his earn runs are at a 3.5. Yeah, let's head on into another guy that I want to put some money on today, and that's Maxwellius Friedieth at the Phillies, number 63 in the black book, striking people out in his career 25.5% of the time, while walking people 4.5% of the time. Open them up 6 plus, minus 110 on DraftKings to the best line of the 5.5 now is on FanDuel at a minus 104. Excuse me. PrizePicks has them at a 5.5, whereas hits allowed under over are at 5.5 on PrizePicks. Projected lineup is 6 righties and 3 lefties. Now we get into the best pitching matchup of the day, Fried versus Wheeler. And we got Fried versus the Phillies for the first time this year. And when we look at their last 200 plate appearance versus lefties, they're tops in the league in walk percentage, not striking out just 20% of the time, while smashing the ball to the tune of an isolated power of 250. Yeah, that's smashing the ball. Now, the Phillies are projecting 3 lefties versus a lefty. And fuck, man, can we get 2 with Schwarber having the day off so I can go under and not have to sweat this bitch? As he has had an elite 28.5% strikeout percentage versus lefties in his career to a solid 24% versus the right-handed side. As well as the past history in this projected lineup, we have 8 guys who have seen Fried before with a combined 184 plate appearances, and they're only striking out 17.4% of their at-bats. Let me say that again. 184 plate appearances, and they're only striking out 17.4% of their at-bats. Yeah. Can you say under? Now, I go through the projected lineup one by one to see how many guys are actually walking and not striking out in this projected lineup. And we do have 3 guys striking out 24% to 30% of their at-bats versus a lefty, spread out from Schwarber in the 1 hole to JT and Stott in the 6-7 hole, with just 2 guys walking at an elite clip, being Schwarber and Harper, with 6 of their 9 batters projected crushing the ball with an isolated power of 180 or above. So, guys, will this be a dead under? I don't think so, as good pitching does beat good hitting, but I think this guy can go 7 innings and still end up on 5 strikeouts, and that's with Schwarber in the lineup. Now, you give me Schwarber out the lineup, I may go apeshit on this under and hammer the dog piss out of it, and yeah, because that 17.8 when you take Schwarber out would drop to like an 11%, and that guy could pitch a complete game with an 11% strikeout rate and still not have fucking 6 strikeouts. So, a lot of past history in this lineup. Need to wait for the lineups, as I am looking to bet Max Fried under and will post a video accordingly. The next guy on the board is the guy that he's facing on the bump. Number 16 in the black book, Zack Wheeler versus these Braves, striking people out 27.5% of the time, while walking people 4.5% of the time. Open them up 6.5, minus 140 on DraftKings, where now the best line available is at minus 120 on Caesars, where PrizePicks has them at a 6.5, whereas under over are at a 5. Projected lineup is 5 righties and 4 lefties. Now we have the other side of this pitching matchup, and it's Wheeler's second time seeing the Braves this year, where back in May, Wheeler slayed these boys, going 8 innings, 0 earned runs while striking out 12. When the lineup was only striking out 20% of the time, hitting the ball with a nice team isolated power of 180, and that's good pitching beats good hitting, and that's what happened. Well, seeing them 2 times last year, guys, in the regular season, he also had a quality start both games, striking out 7 and 8 depending on the game, when those lineups were striking out anywhere from 23 to 27% of the time when he faced them. So let's go check out some of this past history, as we know there's going to be a boatload, as it is the same division. Is everyone in this lineup has seen this man, guys, and this may be the most at-bats I've ever seen a pitcher see versus a team, and that's 212 at-bats in this projected lineup versus Zack Wheeler. And they are striking out at a 28% clip. So there is definitely action if we want in on the over. So the books weren't giving us love if we did want in the over, guys. To put it at a minus 140 If we just go based off of win percentage, it should be minus 115 to a minus 120. And yet that's where it has came down to. Yet the books do take in past history. So that's where they put it at. And we've got people betting the under from there. Or we do got books either dropping it because they do want some action on that over. So I thought I'd get in, right? I'm like, oh, he slayed 12, 13, man. Damn. And they were only striking out 20% of the time. What are they striking out now? Well, what, 18, 19? Nah. Let me talk to you guys. This projected lineup of the Braves are striking out 15% of their at-bats over the last 2 weeks. That's not striking out, guys. Now, can good pitching beat good hitting? Yes. Yes, they can. But their isolated power last time they faced them was great, 180. They're at a stupid 250 in this lineup. So the volatility is definitely there, as the Braves have been a bitch for the most part when looking to run a K-prop over. Yet I have had a key, guys, versus this team, and it's worked quite well. Do you have an elite K percentage on the year? Yes or no? Yes, he does, as he has a nice 27.5% strikeout rate on the year. That is considered elite. Now, the other key is, do you have a K per 9 from the left-handed side of 10 or more? If so, it's a must play and maybe ladder. And if it's 9 or more from the left-handed side over your career, then we can look to get in, as 7 has been about the number for the most part when a guy has faced that. Now, there has been the outlier game that Wheeler did have. So when I go look at Wheeler's stats over his career, he's only got a 9.2 K per 9 versus the left-handed side. So yes, he does have action. You do have action with at least being able to strike out a lefty per inning, as this team runs the same lineup every damn day for the most part. 5 righties, 4 lefties. It's the same damn lineup that he's seen back in May. Nothing's changing but the ballpark. And that's where I go to leaning his over. And I could only look towards his over. Now, if he doesn't show up with his hard hat and work boots, he ain't getting it. If he gets the shit kicked out of him, he ain't getting it. Now, if he goes 6 innings in his candy cane versus this K percentage, yeah, I say he gets it. Now, I'm not willing to risk my money on it. Nah. As the volatility is there, the K percentage has dropped 5% from a stupid 20% the last time he faced them. And good pitching does beat good hitting, but I don't want to put my money on that today. No. I'd rather just watch and watch wheels wheel, if anything. And if I see a 4 spot early, I'll be like, all right, then. Wheels ain't wheeling. And either which way, I'm okay. Now we get to the part of the show where we talk hitting props. And it's not just any part of the show, guys, as we talk a lot of hitting props. This happens to be the best hitting prop segment in all the land. I don't say that because he's got a nice voice. I don't say that because he's good looking, no homo. At the end of the day, this dude eats. And you got to take me back over 3-4 weeks since he's came in on a Tuesday on his normal day and not been profitable. And if you're not tailing this man by now, you just don't like money. If you're not following this man by now, you just don't like money. And on this show, we like to call it Ribeyes with Mike.
I didn't want salmon! I said it 4 times! Wedding is horseshit.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Sharpie. What's up, my guy? Happy Tuesday. We're back.
Happy Tuesday, bro. As when I was asking you for your plays, I was like, I'm going to let you freestyle, my bro. I just want him to bet. I don't want to have to go back to the show and now do all the work and shit, bro. Like, I want them in my inbox. So after the show, I can go place my tickets. So how you doing? How you been? And how was last night to you?
Good. Last night was, I'm a Bills guy, so I was not happy with the outcome, but and I know this is a baseball show, so I'll keep it to it, but the under was a slam spot for me. Got there at the end. The overtime was kind of disappointing to see that punt return. I live bet the Bills when they when Aaron Rodgers went down, but then aside from that, there was a couple of delays in baseball on some spots that I really liked. So we're back in play with baseball. I took Sunday off, and it was refreshing to take Sunday off. So focus strictly on the NFL. It was a nice NFL day as well. But we're on our way, dude. We're on to a new day. There's new dollars out there to be made, and it's all about getting them ribeyes, man. I got the ribeye, I got the salt and pepper. marinating on that ribeye already to go here. So can't wait to get it fired up.
Before you get in, man, let me tell you if you can do one thing, and I mean, cap your baseball the night before on Sundays. Baseball is my most profitable sport going back over the last 3 years when college football and when NFL is going.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about those lines, bro. They're weak. They're weak.
Yeah.
They're weak. You're going to get freaking value left and right on. You're going to be like, oh, he's got to be sitting. No, they don't fucking care. They're going to get all their money in the NFL, bro. And they don't care, bro. So going back over the last few weeks, I haven't lost a K prop on the weekend unless it was lightning.
Nice.
Like, okay, bro, fine. Lightning or what? How do you predict lightning, bro? I'm still figuring that one out, bro. I haven't. I know rain. I should be better about the one I lost with rain. Lightning? Fuck you. But let's get into baseball, bro. Let's do what you do best and talk some ribeyes.
Yeah, let's fucking go. We're going to kick this thing right off with the 4 o'clock window here. 4 o'clock Eastern. You know, we're on our way. We're getting it done here, and I'm looking at this thing saying early opportunity, early spot. And why do I like it the most? I'm scrolling up here to get there. But for me, this is an opportunity for, I think, an over here. We've got we've got Kansas City Royals facing the Chicago White Sox. It's a doubleheader. Generally speaking, I try to stay away from doubleheaders. But I couldn't do it in this one here. And I'll tell you, specifically because of Brady Singer. I'm taking a White Sox, and I'm taking my guy, Eloy Jimenez, against the Brady Singer lineup here. Brady Singer, in this price point that he is in the second half of the baseball season, is 10-0 to the over. It's going over by over 3 runs. Brady Singer is getting exposed and getting lit up like a Christmas tree. So we got our guy in the boo-boo spot, Eloy, in the number 4 hole, and he's ready to make some noise behind Lou Bob, Benintendi, and Tim Anderson. He's got a number of swings against Brady Singer as well. So we got Singer exposed to an over spot. We've got 19 at-bats for Jimenez, 9 hits. He doesn't have any home runs, but he does have an RBI. And again, he's in that 4 spot. I renamed the 4 spot the boo-boo spot because we're going to put it in the bookies on that side there, right there. So, but Eloy Jimenez is at plus 155 on the old ribeye menu to kick the day off.
If you don't watch my streams or streams that I'm on, you don't get the 4 hole now being the boo-boo spot. So, yeah, let's head right on into the next game. As I have heard a lot of people talking over in that White Sox and that back-to-back matchup as I strictly crossed these off and didn't even want to look at them. Didn't even want to look at them.
They play. There's a lot of challenge that I have with it when they start fucking around with the lineups and who's playing and if the guy comes out there and puts his effort in the first game, I don't know what happens there. But I just thought in a spot with the number of at-bats and the opportunities, it made a lot of sense. And speaking of making a lot of sense, those Baltimore Orioles have been putting dollars and cents in the pocket, continuing to ride that hot Baltimore team here at 91-52. How about that? They're almost at 100 wins this season. I mean, that's freaking ridiculous. And it's exciting to see, too, because it's a whole swath of names out there that hopefully get some of the recognition. And for us, specifically, Baltimore Cardinals situation, I went to Ryan Mountcastle. He's been a guy that's been pretty productive for us here, but now that I'm looking at the lineup, it's projected and he might not be playing. So that's okay. I'll give you the quick high level of our guy Mountcastle. If he doesn't get through there, we'll have a little guy to throw in there on the backup. The Mountcastle RBI is plus 125. So
not in.
He's not in. Okay.
I got it pulled up right here in front of me. Confirmed.
Yeah, I still my one thing here still said projected, so that stinks. But all right, well then we'll move on. He was priced as free money, but we'll keep.
That's why they knew he wasn't in the lineup. That's why. Fuckers.
At plus 125, and that happens, right? But here's the nice thing about the ribeye business is that they don't force you to take a loss. If the guy doesn't play, you tend to get your cash back. So
if he doesn't,
make sure you check your books out in those situations. I heard you talk about Wheels and Freed. My backup play, I'll fire off here, is going to be my guy, Trey Turner. I had to rock Trey Turner. Trey Turner at plus 210, right? I mean, he's been having a really solid second half of the season since the All-Star break. Freed's a bomber. He's 7-1 out there in this situation, but Trey Turner's seen him 32 times. He's got 13 hits, a home run, and 2 RBIs, batting .406. He's in the 2 spot, so we're not in boo-boo territory, but he is right behind Schwarber. And the bottom of the Phillies lineup, if you've been paying attention the last couple of weeks, has been cranking out runs. So they're getting on base, they're getting hits. They're clearly not as effective when you start getting down to that, kind of spot there past Castellanos. I like Castellanos as well on the 6th spot. But for me, with Trey Turner, with that number of at-bats at plus 210, had to take a shot with Trey Turner plus 210.
Yeah, Trey Turner's been hot, so can't hate you there. And we move on to the next because I'm pissed off that the freaking Phillies put in Pache today, bro. Like, are you kidding me, bro? Is this like, hey, you get to play against your old team day? So I'm looking into him. So let's keep rolling it.
All right, so we'll keep it going here, and I'm going to go to our guy, not the guitar player, not the sensation that is Mexican folk music, but Carlos Santana, the number 3 spot here with the Milwaukee Brewers for me. A little da-da-da-da-da. And we got a 2 at-bats, 2 hits, and 1 ribeye against this JT Chargios or whatever the hell his name is here. But it's clearly, to me, it looks like a potential bullpen spot for those Miami Marlins here. And, from what I see with Carlos Santana, plus 215, he's been effective. He's been productive. Again, the last 2 weeks, he's been able to get, when I capitalize and I get him in the lineup, or my RBI lineup, he's been able to come through and give us that gold. So he's behind Yelich. He's behind Billy the Kid Contreras. We know those 2 guys are very effective, albeit not a lot of success here. And so I had to drop down. If you look at Yelich with no hits, with 3 at-bats, Billy the Kid Contreras hasn't seen this kid at all. And then you got Carlos Santana 2 for 2 with the ribeye. I mean, come on. We got 2 of the best hitters on the team in front of this guy, and all he does is smash this guy's meatballs across the field. So I think that's shot at 215 and call that some good opportunity right there. And
Ooh, 215 on who?
Carlos Santana.
You've got some big plus money offers here out here, bro. Like, man, we are almost to 380.
Yeah, man. And we're going to finish it off here. We're going to kind of flirt with the, we'll call this the intersection here. We're at the intersection of the sweet spot. And you guys know I am a sucker for Kyle Tucker. And I got to run him back today as well. So, give it to me. Give it to me, baby. Here we go. We got a guy that, Astros yesterday, let down situation. Here's the thing about the Astros. Go back to October of 2021 when they lost their previous game by more than 3 runs. Previous loss by more than 3 runs. Hasn't happened a ton, but when it does, they come back rolling. They're 13-0 in that bounce back spot, and they're going over by 4 runs. Their margin, their team total margin in these spots is almost 8 runs on their own. So it felt to me like it was a spot where I see Altuve, Bregman, and there's Kyle Tucker. Oh, and by the way, he's up there against JP Sears. Yeah, he's had success against Sears. Lefty battle here. 7 at-bats, 3 hits, 2 home runs, 4 ribeyes, batting at a 429. Kyle Tucker, plus 140. Get us paid, my guy. Let's cash it.
Man, you just fucking I was over here waiting for lineups to see I was gonna bet Verlander. I was either gonna bet him 6.5 or pull him down the win. Well, in a 13-0 spot, I think we gotta pull him down the win then. Isn't that what that say, bro?
That's what that says to me. I had 2 other numbers written down there. I had the Houston team total over and the Oakland team total under, because the Oakland lack of success in this Houston bounce back spot, or I shouldn't say just Oakland in general, but the teams that have produced or faced, Houston in that rebound spot are not playing strongly. And then if you look at that lineup specifically with Oakland, winds blowing in as well, I think it's going to be a tough day for those boys to generate runs on the Oakland side at all. Feels like an 8-1 type of finish for me here. I think Houston bounces back in a big way and smacks these boys right in the mouth.
Maybe 8-3, bro, because Verlander's the type to go 7 and give up a hiccup. It's just like he rarely never gives up a hiccup. It's always he gives up that bloop, oops, shitty inning. Let's go 6 more. So, I mean, they better whop them today, bro. They better whop them today. That's what we're going to get into when I talk about them. And, if you're just tuning in, guys, for the recap of Ribeyes with Mike, smash that like button as it helps people find out about the best damn prop show on God's green earth. And he's going to start his 4-pack today with the Chicago White Sox, Eloy Jimenez RBI at plus 155. And then he had to go to his bullpen, guys, as they scratched Mountcastle and he went to his last person he scrubbed off his card today. And he's going to take Trey Turner to get an RBI off of Max Fried at plus 210. That's some good money right there, fellas. And let me tell you, Trey Turner's got a boatload of bats off of Max Fried. He was a Washington National. Seen the man a lot. So good history as well. Next guy he's taking is another guy. And no, not the Carlos Santana, but the Carlos Santana for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's also plus 215. That's stupid. This guy can hit a home run, and they be putting big guys like him home run prop around 215 sometimes. So Ribeye, here we come from the Megalodon. And then we're going to finish the day, guys, to where, man, I hope we could just freaking ladder this RBI spot maybe, as he is in the sweet spot. Kyle Tucker at plus 145 for one. But, man, I could see one of them 2, 3, 4 type of nights from this, man, because, God, it's the Astros versus a lefty after they just shit the bed versus Waldicup, bro. Like, this is just like, yes. Thank you. You are going to get freaking beat by 2 lefties 2 days in a row? Nah, bro. You're going to have to beat me, bro. Like, come on. You're going to have to take my fucking money one way or the other in that game, and we will get to that game. Mike, let them know what you got going on, where they can find you, and all that good shit.
Hell yeah, man. All over. Try to be involved with pub sports as much as we can here. We've got shows cranking out all over the place now that we're back in the swing with football season here. It's been a lot of fun. Great first weekend for me in both college football and the NFL. Can't wait to go back to it this weekend, but we're not forgetting about baseball. We've been making that bread all summer long with this sport here. We're just heating up and getting ready. So make sure, as you do, as Sharpie says, cap the night before. Take advantage of those soft lines when those books are putting them out there and exposing themselves. And outside of that, man, we'll be around all week. So can't wait to work with you again later on this week, dude. Let's get that money, my guy.
Yes, sir. Bro. I'll see you Thursday for your stream, if not sooner.
So.
I didn't want salmon. I said it 4 times. Wedding is horseshit.
Wedding is horseshit. If you're just tuning in, guys, we've just finished right now with Ribeyes with Mike, as well as talked about the first 3 pitchers on the board, as the only bet so far that we have in is John Means under 3.5 strikeouts at plus 127 in the Baltimore game. Next guy up on the board, they don't have a line out. So if anybody out there in the chat has a line on Carlos Rodon, please give it to us. Please let me know what I'm going to be, what I should be expecting in this spot. As I know a few of you guys at times we've had spots like this. I believe Bet365 had it those times, and I don't got that book. But anybody out there with a line on Rodon would be very helpful. If not, we're going to cap this game and talk this game without thinking or looking for a line. And I expect it to be 5.5 hella juiced, if not 6.5 plus money to even money, depending on how the books want to take it or look at it. Now, if they want to give me minus like 110, I'll be like, oh God, what's going to happen? But let's talk Carlos Rodon at the Red Sox. In his career, he's striking people out 26% of the time, while walking people 9% of the time. There's no line on him. Nothing on PrizePicks, no hits, runs, outs, nothing. There's pretty much just a ghost trail on Carlos Rodon other than a money line at the moment that I can find. Now, let's talk about it, guys. Is this a coincidence that after we talk Ribeyes with Mike, also known for his hammercock pops, we end up, guys, on the play I want to just drop the damn hammer on. And we have no line. But I'm sure one's coming, or one of you guys in the chat will let us know. Let's just hope they don't play no games with him, guys, as our boy Carlitos Way at the Red Sox in the second game of a doubleheader has himself a matchup that I want to get involved in. When we get at these 200 plate appearances over the last, I'm seeing someone get popped up. Nope, no, nothing yet. Over the last 200 plate appearances, guys, I had to go back a whole month to get like 240, guys, and they are hitting a nice team isolated power of 215. Yet not walking and striking out 25% of their at-bats. Now, I may be Rodon's biggest fan, guys, and I try not to let that get in the way when I bet, as I'm able to set it aside with Kershaw and others that I freaking got a heart for. And I've made money on his outs over this year, and I also hit his K prop over the only time that he did hit it. Now, I've also lost 2 times betting the man as well. So I ain't going to say I've been perfect betting this man. So what I'm getting at, guys, is I haven't had the most perfectest read, but I think my read is right. And I'm on the right track, and I may have just bucked some teams that I shouldn't have tried to buck it against. But at least I took a half unit shot at plus money, as he didn't come close. But what I'm getting at, guys, is we knew to stay away from him at the beginning of this until he got right, as his horizontal and vertical break were nowhere near where they have been in his career. As watching the Rays game, guys, he's back. And now his issue at times has been more location, as he is a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball slider. And when you're not locating, you're going to get in trouble, as they're sitting on either one or the other, bro. Last week, guys, he was in a great spot by the K percentage, yet not by the isolated power. And that's the same type of spot that we are in again today. Good pitching does beat good hitting. And if Rodon goes out there and just gives us 5 innings, he should hit his over 7 strikeouts, guys. So I do expect the 5.5 juice or plus money to the even on the 6.5. Now, he hasn't opened a 6.5 since coming off the IL, but if that's what they want to do, so be it, guys. Is if I get in, I may take him up to the moon and back, guys, because that game is coming, where he reminds the world who he is and why the Yankees went out and paid this man all the monies, guys. As these Red Sox are projecting 3 lefties, and shit, I'd be happy with 2, but 3? Good God, they love me, guys. As last year when Rodon was Rodon, and who I believe he is again today, he had a beyond elite K percentage versus the left-handed side of 35.5%. And just a 32% from the right-handed side. Now, there is some past history in this projected lineup, and we will need lineups before we do make the call. As if they sit Justin Turner in this one, they might. As in 13 at-bats versus Rodon, he has struck out 5 times, and he's batting underneath the Mendoza line, where Rafe Snyder and Urias have a combined 11 at-bats and 0 strikeouts, with Defers striking out 25% of his at-bats and Duvall striking out 2 of his 3 times. But I really can't put too much into a lot of that, guys, as a lot of these numbers, I need at least 9 plate appearances, and there's only one guy out there with that type, and one guy that can be if he's on the bench. Good Lord, can we get Chwang in this? Wang is or Chang? It's W Chang. That's why I called him Huang. He struck out 8 of his 13 at bats versus this man. So lineup pending. I'm either going to go straight over or I'm going to ladder him to the moon and back. I appreciate you guys letting us know with your book if he's out there yet or not. As when the line comes out and the lineups are out, I will tweet out the video on if I'm over, because I'm not going under, and then how high am I willing to climb the ladder. Shout out to Big Show Picks, the best producer in the world, the guy who made ladder season famous. It may be that time to pull out that fireman's ladder today, guys. If they want to put in 3 lefties with a team striking out in that lineup, yeah, we going to the moon and back. Now we get into a spot, guys, that can be the titty capper play of the day. Now, we all like titties, but it's not these guys. This happens to be the play where 90% of the cappers say it's free money out there, including your favorite titty capper. Now, Glasnow was it yesterday, and Glasnow hit that over 7.5. But like I said, it wasn't going to be easy. I was like, wow. Dude has 5 strikeouts in 2 innings. Yeah, he's getting 9, no problem. Nah. That dude needed that last inning and got a double play and been whoo, boy, almost got pulled because he gave up 4 runs as well. So hit it while he hit it, and that's why I don't bet trends and why either I find a reason or I just let it go. Now we get into Joe Ryan versus the Rays, number 32 in the black book. Striking people out 29% of the time while walking people 5% of the time. Open them up 7+ -105 on DraftKings. And it sat there all day until about 30 minutes ago. juice has finally started to come into that minus 135 to minus 150 range. PrizePicks has him at a 6.5. Pitching outs under over are at a 17.5, where your projected lineup is 5 lefties and 4 righties. Joe Ryan now gets his shot versus the Rays. And when we look at the numbers over the Rays, they're walking top 5 in the league over the last 15 days. They're hitting the ball with a nice team isolated power of 180, yet striking out 24.5% of the time. As well as we know the whiff and chase that they bring into this matchup. It all looks like we can have us a day with Ryan today. But then the red flags pop up. As his outs are at a bettable 17.5, which is not off. He's just only hit that 3 of his last 10 games. As well as his K prop should be a minus 150 to open, if not a whole number up, if we're going to take in the K percentage of the Rays like they do on everybody else. Now, he has a 70% win percentage to the 6.5 versus the team striking out 24.5%. And the books had minus 105, 110, 15, just open arms to one-way traffic, as you will not hear people talking about Joe Ryan under today. Does that mean he goes and gets it today and doesn't hit it? I don't know, as I wanted to bet this shit over. But they're playing games with his lines, and there's a reason why I'm hitting at over 70% this month. I'm listening to the books. I'm not bucking them, even though I have Joe Ryan in a spot that he's 4-0, averaging 8.3 strikeouts a game whenever he's had a team that whiffs and doesn't make contact when they chase. So everything tells me I should go over, that I should bet the over, except the line. The line doesn't tell me that. Now, if he hits, am I going to be mad? No, I don't give a rat's ass. I'd rather not risk my money on a fishy-ass situation when it just smells like a bunch of malarkey at the end of the day, guys. So if there was a titty capper play of the day, Joe Ryan would have his face all up in them yiddies, guys. And there's nothing but one-way traffic on what's supposed to be an easy day for the man. We're going to end our day with, man, I love the stat Mike M brought up today, guys. So over the last 2 years, if you didn't hear it, Mike M said it, when the Astros have given up 3 or more runs, so 4 runs or more, they are 13-0 in their next game, winning by margin. Margin means this. If you catch my drift, you catch my drift. If not, then God probably didn't like you. Last guy on the board today, guys, is good old Justin Verlander versus the A's for the first time this year. And we have talked about how Verlander's strikeouts were down this year, but we didn't expect them to come back to normal. We did expect them to come back to normal, guys. As I said, his velo and his spin rate were actually up from last year. So it wasn't his stuff, guys. It was his location. And more than the location, it was his first pitch strike percentage. Yet coming back to the Astros and having Maldonado, the best defensive play calling catcher in the game, calling him again, his first pitch strike has come back to his career numbers. And now Verlander gets his matchup with the A's. Where this year, guys, they added us some juice onto this 6.5, guys, because if we would have just strictly go off of win percentage, we'd be looking at plus money on the 6.5 because he has only a 40% win percentage to the over in his last 10. Verlander is at home, or is it the A's numbers that say add the juice? So let's just go see if it's warranted. As they're not walking, they're hitting the ball with a nice isolated power of 220, but yet they're striking out near 25% of the time. So it makes sense that they added in the juice on the JV. As like I said, what doesn't make sense is they were begging for all the money when no juice was added in, and actually 50 cents of juice was taken off of Joe Ryan to have his prop opened up today. So they adjust by K percentages, man. And when they adjust it the other way, you either got to let it go or fade it. And I'm content letting Joe Ryan go. But I'm not content letting this man go, guys, as the spots where I have smashed this guy and where he has hit the over 6.5 since coming to the Astros, or even since the All-Star break, is versus the Chicago White Sox and the Los Angeles Angels, who, like the A's, are top 7 in the league in whiff and chase percentage. Now, I may be looking to bring him down to 6 and the Astros win. As like I said, Mike did bring in a great spot. I was already looking to attack the Astros with the lefty. And I might take him down 6 to win, or I might bet the 6.5 depending on the lineup, as the A's do chase. But they are one of the rare breeds that if they send out the right lineup, these guys make contact when they chase. So I may just look for Verlander to record the win. The lineup's going to tell me a lot, guys, as guys like Esteury Ruiz, Nick Allen, those are guys we don't want in the lineup. Now, sometimes they put them in that 8-9 hole, and that, if we get 1 through 7 striking out in the bottom half, not so be it. But lineups pending. Verlander's a bet for me, whether I pull him down to win, just record him to take the win, or at the end of the day, just bet the 6.5. So Verlander, I'm looking to get in as I need the lineups, as I really wanted to bet the under 5.5, but I'm going to have to do a little more work on Fried because the lineup wasn't the lineup, as they did take out one guy, and they also then put in Pache, who is striking out over his last 30 days. So I got to go through and do a little more work on Fried. So I will tweet out if I do put money on Fried's under, as I have a bet on John Means of the Baltimore Orioles under 3.5 strikeouts for a half unit at plus 127, as I'm looking to bet Rodon over. Once we ever see a line, please give us a line. And lineups pending is going to see how far I either ladder them or just straight bet the line that they give us. Shout out to the chat. Smash the like if you haven't. I'm going to roll through. If you've put in your best bet, we will see. If not, we will be bon voyage unto tomorrow. So, yes, sir. DJ Jude, glad you were on the stream and was able to get on that under 4.5. That was easy as pie yesterday with Miller. That's why I like waiting for lineups too. Sometimes we don't need lineups. Sometimes you do, guys. So let's keep it up. Appreciate you, RVD. NFL has been good to me as well. Rocco Rogers is on Orioles by destruction. Well, I hope the Orioles get destructed as well, so they pull Means real quick. Ed C. Frost is on Freddie Freeman over a half RBI at plus 160 on DraftKings for his best bet. Graham is, how is he 7.5 juice to the under? Because he was a 7.5 last week, and on a back and a back, they put the same line, no matter what you do, no matter what you don't do. And if they fuck with it, you just go under. So he was a 7.5 last week, and because of that, they put him there again because it's a back-to-back. So, oh, he hasn't gone over that since July. Ooh, that means he's probably going over it. Yeah, that's what it says. Now, does that always happen though, Graham? That's the question. And no, because the line said a whole lot yesterday in a lot of those games, and it went the opposite way. So I'm glad I don't bet trends, and I find my ways to bet. So I hear you, Rocco. Schwarber is in. I got to do my work on that as well, on that lineup. So looking to bet me some Fried under, but might have to just let it go, as yeah, it's been nice. It's been hot, and why not stay doing what we need to do? Voodoo Rangers talking about, I was looking at Ryan last night and this morning waiting for your show before I made the move. Who has the better day, Ryan or Verlander? I haven't done the lineups yet. I need the lineups for Verlander specifically, but I can't bet Ryan myself. But they're saying Ryan's going to pitch to contact. They're saying Ryan's going to go over 17.5 outs and not hit his 6.5 strikeouts, which that just blows my mind right there, to be honest, as he hasn't hit the over 17.5 outs, but 3 of his last 10, but yet they're asking you to bet the under there, but they're begging you to bet the over on his K prop. So something tells me Joe Ryan goes 6 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts or less. Still a good game. It's just, man, I wanted to bet that fucking K prop over today. Sometimes you just got to listen to the books. And it's been good for me to listen, as we're hot, guys. Let's stay hot. Make sure you got them Twitter notification bells on, as I will tweet out my best bets my other bets on the trigger, on the action that I pulled. Justin's popping in. Santander's RBI at minus 106. I'm sure you put it in there. I probably missed it, but glad you got it in there before I hit the last spiel. Appreciate you guys all for tuning in today. As you know, this show is sponsored by PrizePicks. If you haven't, go on over there and use that promo code PUBSports. You're going to get a match deposit of $100, minimum of $25 on your first deposit. Until next time, I am Sharpie's Bets. This show is produced by Big Show's Picks. Our special guest today was Pimp Slap Play of the Day, and this show is brought to you by the letters of BBW. Some say we be pubbing. I say meet me tonight for the live stream on Dana White Contender Series, and I will let you know the action if you don't want to watch the videos. Keep firing, assholes!
Keep firing, assholes!